Up next on America Honors Our Veterans. Strength through dance, how one Marine is using movement to bring hope and healing to the military-connected community. From service to storytelling, meet a veteran who turned their dream of becoming a Hollywood writer into reality. Cooking up inspiration, veteran and celebrity chef Andre Rush dishes on what it's like cooking for 4 different presidents. And what's a celebration without music? The Army rappers join us for a special performance sure to inspire us all. Join us as we celebrate veterans who've turned their experiences into new missions, new passions, and remarkable achievements. Here on America Honors Our Veterans.
America Honors Our Veterans, presented by National University, a veteran-founded nonprofit offering tuition discounts for active duty service members and dependents. Learn more at nu.edu. By USAA, proudly serving the military community and hiring them too. Join our mission at usaajobs.com. And this program is produced in partnership with DAV, fulfilling our promises to the men and women who served.
After struggling with his transition to civilian life, Marine veteran Roman Baca found healing and purpose in an unexpected place, through dance. But it wasn't until Roman drew from his own experiences in uniform that he realized the potential of turning personal struggle into powerful performance.
In high school, I met a friend who was a ballerina. What interested me was that when my friend talked about dance, she talked about expressing herself through movement. So I signed up for a basic ballet class and I fell in love with it. I fell in love with storytelling through movement and music. It wasn't until I had been studying for some time, had some shows under my belt and some good training, that I decided to move to the East Coast and pursue a more professional track. And I think that's the moment when the resistance started to pop up. Getting there and engaging in professional study opened me up to other people's perceptions of being a male dancer.
Ridiculed and bullied in the streets for studying ballet, Roman began to wonder if he should instead pursue a more traditional path.
I was like, well, why don't I just go into the military? It checked boxes for me in my mind. It checked that box of I would be making a contribution to the world. I would be helping people or given opportunities to help people. I would massively be changing that public perception of a male dancer by becoming a United States Marine. And I would also give myself a path forward professionally and personally.
After 8 years of service, Roman decided to enter the civilian world and settle down in the same way his military family members had. But the reality of his transition was more difficult than he imagined.
I thought I was doing really well. I thought I was crushing it at the job. I thought I was doing good stuff in the community. And about 6 months after that, my girlfriend said, we need to have a talk. You know, something's wrong. You are not the guy I knew before the war. The guy I knew before war was happy-go-lucky, full of life. And the person in front of me is anxious and depressed and angry. And you're making people afraid of you. This way of being that the Marine Corps had taught me, I brought home. And I thought she was gonna say, you know, and I don't want to be a part of this anymore. But she didn't. She looked at me and she said, if you could do anything in the world, what would you do? And I told her I would start a dance company. And without skipping a beat, she just looked at me and she said, let's do it.
Roman and his girlfriend, Lisa Fitzgerald, launched Exit 12 Dance Company, but it lacked a certain defined purpose until a mentor challenged Roman to look inward and use his own life experience as a Marine to guide their work. It was a turning point that reshaped the company's mission.
And so I decided to turn my choreographic work towards showing audiences what the war that we experienced was like. And over time, what I learned was it was very valuable, but my perspective of what we experienced is only one perspective. We needed more voices. We needed more people's stories to round out a picture of what was going on. And so we started inviting other veterans into the studio to work with us. And what that grew into was running programs where we bring in military-connected individuals to build a choreographic work about the things that are important to them in their lives and putting them on stage for audiences in order for audiences to see the human behind the uniform. We'd been working with a Vietnam veteran. Everett has created with us, he's written with us, he's performed with us. And he had been doing so for 10 years before we ran a long workshop on the Intrepid Museum, which is an aircraft carrier in New York City. In this moment, Everett decided to recreate the worst experience in his life, which was a rocket attack that happened when he was in Vietnam. And everybody thinks they know what they'll do or how they'll react when they're attacked in such a way, and nobody ever thinks they'll freeze. And Everett froze. And he couldn't do anything. And the guilt of that reaction haunted him for 40 years post-service, where he didn't even want to be called a veteran. He decided to put that experience into movement. And he shared with us that he was scared and petrified and could feel the same emotions in his muscle and bones as he felt the day that it happened. But knowing that everybody else in the room supported him, everyone else in the room was doing the exact same thing he was doing, made Everett feel safe enough to continue until his heart was still. A few weeks later, he performed that on the deck of the Intrepid in front of a live audience. And then a few days later, he said that because of that, and because of that experience creatively, his therapist downgraded him for the first time from high suicide risk to low. That's what we're doing through the power of movement and creativity. We're hoping that because we're doing this work and because this work is impactful on people who have experienced trauma at a very high level, that just like the importance that we put on mental health in the past couple of years, that the general population, that civilians, that people who have served in uniform and people who've experienced trauma in their own lives can find modes like creativity, like movement, like theater, to work on their own mental health and their own physical health.
Up next, veteran Jason Inman's improbable journey to Hollywood writer.
On behalf of DAV, happy Veterans Day.
For Kansas National Guard veteran Jason Inman, becoming a Hollywood writer was a dream he'd had since childhood. After his service, and fueled by the confidence his military experience had given him, he moved to Los Angeles, determined to make that dream a reality. And against all odds, he did.
I joined the Kansas Army National Guard in 2001, and primarily I joined because I really thought that this would be a way that I could do something that nobody else in my family had done, and many people don't do. You know, partly because I was deployed to Iraq in 2005 as part of my Army service. I didn't get shot, I didn't get blown up over there, and I know that's a very simplistic way to look at it, but that kind of gave me confidence to pack all my stuff into a car and drive to Los Angeles without basically knowing anybody out here and trying to see if I could make it in movies and television. Even the idea of working in movies and television out here in Los Angeles was primarily because of libraries. Because I was a voracious reader. You gotta realize that in a small Kansas livestock wheat farm, there's not much to do. I just basically read every book that library had. I watched every movie they had, every television show they had. And so I sort of like mythologized the writer and sort of thought that they are sort of the god of their own universe. And that really appealed to me. So there was always some version of writing a movie or a television show in that dream from the very beginning. I was always writing stuff on the side, whether that was like short films or comic books. I was always writing. You know, they always say it is not what you do, but who you know. And a friend of mine had just got hired as a writer. I immediately asked him if they were hiring for support staff, which is basically the people that run the office around the writer's room. And he said they were, so I applied. And I went to every interview basically thinking, well, if I don't get this job, at least I'll get to talk to professional writers. This is a bonus. I got all the way to the end and I met the executive producer, the showrunner, and that's the head writer, and he hired me. And during that whole time, I was giving him my samples and my scripts and my movies and things like that. And eventually he created the show called Watson. And luckily I'd given him enough material. He'd read enough of my stuff, and I'm a big Sherlock Holmes fan. So I made an ask and I said, I would love to be one of the writers on Watson. And luckily I had proved myself to him that I got this amazing opportunity to be one of the writers in the first season of Watson. So I wrote a book called Super Soldiers that is about the connection between comic book superheroes and the military. One of them I talk about, I think in the Captain America chapter, I talk a lot about how, Captain America's frozen in ice. And then when he wakes up, he's 70 years down the road and he doesn't know how to deal with the world that he's in now. And it's completely changed. And I think you would be hard pressed to find any soldier that has been on deployment that doesn't come back stateside and doesn't feel like the entire world has changed while they were gone. I would say if there are any veterans out there and you have a dream, you should just try, because the only reason that I am here and the only reason that I am living the dream that I'm currently living is because I said to myself, I would hate to turn around and look at my life 20 years from now and think to myself, oh, I should have done that. So whatever that is for you, just do it. And you can win that race by inches, not miles. It literally will happen.
Up next, ever wonder what presidents like to eat? Veteran and celebrity chef Andre Rush joins us with the dish.
From all of us at Wells Fargo, happy Veterans Day to our brave servicemen and women. Thank you for your service. I know that you are appreciated, admired, and valued.
This program is brought to you by Hiring America, dedicated to helping those who've served build their future. Learn more at hiringamerica.com.
Not many chefs can say they've cooked for the President of the United States, but how many can say they've cooked for 4 of them? Well, Army veteran Chef Andre Rush can, turning a passion for food into a mission to serve, unite, and inspire.
I tell people food is life, is love, is energy, it's holistic, it's medication. It is so many things more that they think it is. It's not about the Michelin stars or the 5 stars or the clicks and this. It's about what's in here. And when I eat food and taste food, I want to taste my mother. I want to have a memory about it. I want people to say, wow, that was powerful. Also delicious, but powerful. So what was it like working in the White House? Amazing. What could you say about going to the most powerful place in the world? Being around the most powerful people in the world and just having that energy and being honored to be able to bless people and see people and do things that you would never in a million years would do or talk about or see, and just being a part of a team that is unlike any other team in the world. What did the presidents I served under like to eat? Anything I gave them. All my food was delicious. And honestly, to each his own, because you got to think about being the president, eating all over the world. Everybody's trying to impress you. Some are older, some are not as active or try to be, and everything is unhealthy. So in retrospect, some of them were just really normal, regular people who just wanted a sandwich or a burger or a burrito or a bowl, and just be simple and live life like they're normal for a change. I think it was with one of the Christmas party when I was doing some mac and cheese, and it was full of cheese, like 5 or 6 or 7 different cheeses, and it was cheesy. And one of the presidents ate it. He was like, okay, I want more of that. Give me more, give me more, give me more. I tell people all the time, I was born this way. No, I'm joking. I wish I was. But in retrospect, is that I have to be this way. Exercise is imperative, and just as much as my food. I say food is 9% of it, exercise at 10% of it. They say you are what you eat. When you eat it, now you have to exert that into energy that's going to be true and natural to you, because you still got to think about what's here. I have hard times. I cry, I laugh, I joke. I have a lot of funny things. I do a lot of things. I target kids for my content. I talk about suicide awareness and mental health. I talk about the tough subjects. I also talk about the funny subject, and I try to intertwine them and let you know how life is. I want people to reflect not only themselves, but stop being selfish, ungrateful. Have compassion to each and every person that's out there. Look at yourself and say, hey, what do you want to do and what do you want to leave behind? I can honestly say right now, if I'm not here tomorrow, I am content on what I left behind.
Veterans Day is a time to honor the brave men and women in uniform who have sacrificed so much for our freedom. Here with a powerful tribute to all who serve is Staff Sergeant Lamar Riddick of the Army Rappers.
Hey, 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 we salute. We salute. Tell me where we'll be without the truth. Hey, hey, we salute. We salute. To the sons and the daughters who had no one standing on their own. We salute. We do it cause we love it, wanna take the time to show you. Hey, we salute. We salute. In the States we keep the faith, and ain't nobody holding you. They gave us the mantle, the ammo, the camel. Told us to bring the light, so I'm toting the candle. Came out of shadow, me and my battle. We've seen stranger things, you need a ladder. Will to stop the ranger, aim for making your cage rattle. When the throat of the barrel go horse, boy, you better go hop on your saddle. I put on uniform looking like unicorn, who you made music for? Soldiers that's in the war, mothers that's in the store, brothers that's cleaning floors. They ask me, are we fatigued? But this army fatigue is not for the weak. Either you're strong or you're sweet. If you wanna earn your bread, boy, you better go and get it out the wheat. We don't complain, we just compete. We don't detain, we just defeat. They run from the flame, we loving their heat. Keeping them things, protecting the peace. You stay in your lane, we out in the street. And when it go bang, it's keeping us free. You got a plane, well, we got a fleet. Hey, hey, we salute. We salute. Tell me where we'll be without the truth. Hey, hey, we salute. We salute. To the sons and the daughters who had no one standing on their own. We salute. We do it cause we love it, wanna take the time to show you. Hey, we salute. We salute. In the States we keep the faith, and ain't nobody holding you. Military looking really scary. Watch the mercenary beat the adversary. Pull up on you while you're sleeping too. Ferry at the body milk, we got plenty dairy. Wanna keep it real with the facts on the real. Tell me how you think it feel out in the field, concealing the steel. Coming back to the stateside, can't get a hot meal. Wounds can't heal, could've got killed. Veterans serve and protect, think they deserve respect. We gotta curb neglect. They put their life on the line to earn a check. Some got their wings and live where the birds are at. I don't think you get no worse than that. When they gone, no reversing that. When daddy come home, what version is back? United we stand, divided we fall. But we need a plan to solve. While the planet revolves, where I'm kicking the ball. But doesn't acknowledge the men and the women who've answered the call. I salute y'all. Hey, hey, we salute. We salute. Tell me where we'll be without the truth. Hey, hey, we salute. We salute. To the sons and the daughters who had no one standing on their own. We salute. We do it cause we love it, wanna take the time to show you. Hey, we salute. We salute. In the States we keep the faith, and ain't nobody holding you.
Thanks for watching America Honors Our Veterans. And to all our veterans, thank you for your service.
America Honors Our Veterans is presented by National University, a veteran-founded nonprofit offering tuition discounts for active duty service members and dependents. Learn more at nu.edu. By USAA, proudly serving the military community. Join our mission at usaajobs.com. And this program is produced in partnership with DAV, fulfilling our promises to the men and women who served. And made possible by the generous support of Wells Fargo. Learn more by visiting wellsfargo.com/military. This program is made possible by the generous support of the following companies. Military Made. Support the military community at militarymade.com, the site that exclusively sells products from veteran-owned businesses.